And one of them is called the drama triangle, which is right up here. And the drama triangle was designed by a man named Stephen Karpman, who's a transactional analyst. Transactional analysis is a form of psychotherapy. He lives in San Francisco, and he was a guy who likes to watch sports on TV. And he would always diagram the plays when he watched football. He'd just sit there with a pen and diagram the plays. So he liked to diagram things, and he diagrammed what he called the drama triangle, these three drama roles, which are persecutor, rescuer, and victim. And he defined a drama as any situation involving two or more people where people walk away with negative feelings. It's any kind of in communication, any kind of situation, meeting, dinner, dance. We came in here last night and there was a dance starting. And anything where people walk away with unresolved negative feelings we call a drama. And people take psychological positions when there's a drama. And one of those three positions, persecutor, rescuer, or victim. The psychological position of the persecutor is, I'm okay, you're not okay. And persecutors, people who persecute others, it's a tricky position, like all three positions actually, all three roles, because persecutors often know what is right or wrong about somebody else. So they have a big justification for what they do. Just like the rescuer. The rescuer has a big justification for what they do because they're helping others. And the victim has a big justification for what he or she does because, of course, they have lots of evidence that other people or the world or circumstances is doing it to them. But that's the justification for the persecutor. Persecutor sees what is going on with other people, often very clearly, and makes them wrong for it, diminishes them in some way, as a way, of course, to bolster themselves up. And as Fleet was saying, to hide behind a mask. So all these positions are one of the specific ways that we acknowledge the shadow within us. So Fleet was speaking about the shadow in some specific ways and in some general ways, but this is one of the ways we work with it in the training. That these are shadow roles. I'm okay, and it's justified for us here. We justify that, some of us, and it's played out on the world stage. Countries justify that, leaders justify that. I was thinking when Fleet was talking about the shadow, I'm not making any kind of judgment here about who I liked and who I didn't like, but it was interesting. When President Clinton was asked during his campaign whether he smoked pot, he said, yes, but I didn't inhale. And when Barack Obama was asked if he ever smoked pot, he said, well, I thought that was the point of it. Those were his words. I thought that was the point. And maybe, again, let's not get in a big thing here. I know these but that may be the difference between the two men. Barack Obama was just willing to acknowledge his shadow. I thought that was the point. And when he was asked about his drug use in college, he was very open and honest about it. He just spoke to it. No hiding, and it went away. It went away. in terms of the media. It wasn't this huge thing. Oh, you shouldn't vote for him. I mean, I didn't really follow the election that closely. Maybe you know better than I, but that's not what I read. That this huge thing, don't vote for him because he was, a drug abuser. So, we want to acknowledge these things. So how many people here are persecute others in your life? Raise your hands. Hi, please. Okay, great. Anybody in the room rescue other people? And how about people, anybody here? Well, I don't even need to ask this question. But because we're all victimized sometimes, Ken Wines, the man I trained with to lead this training, would say in the introduction, he'd say, when you're born, you're a victim in a sense, because you're a baby, and you can't make autonomous decisions for yourself. You have to cry when you're hungry, or when you're, uncomfortable or whatever. So that was his feeling. We're all victimized, feel like victims sometimes. But there's a difference. Taylor.
Sorry, just to comment on that. Just yesterday, in a 10-minute period of time, I was all three to myself, very aggressive.
In how long?
In a 10-minute period of time.
Yeah.
There were two other rescuers in the car, but I wouldn't even let them rescue me. I had to wait till I could rescue.
Right. Yeah, we do it inside ourselves as well as outside of ourselves.